Beyonce announces her Cowboy Carter tour. Black China checks Tristan Thompson. Angel Reese pays off her mom's mortgage. And wow, the Real Housewives of Atlanta trailer has dropped. Jeannie Mai is in the ATL fighting with Jeezy over her possessions. Hey, critics, and welcome back to the Critic Chronicles YouTube channel where you get commentary reviews and tabloid news. I'm your host, Patricia Hartley, and we are live on this Sunday, February the 2nd, 2025. Hey, critics, it's time to chronicle. Up first, let me take a minute just to say happy Black History Month. Black history is American history. And shout out to the folks who always say, listen, I don't need no month to celebrate, baby. It's Black History Month, 365 days. And when it's a leap year, 366 and a half. I think that's the correct number, right? If not, however many days it is. Thank you so much for being here at the Critic Chronicles YouTube channel. Now let's get into this Black on the Cover, where we highlight Black excellence gracing the cover of today's hottest magazines. Okay, in Libby, we have Vogue. That's Gabby Thomas as well as Angel Reese. They are both on the winter issue. Got a little bit more about Angel Reese a little bit later on in the show. And of course, Vanity Fair, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, they're on the February issue. There's a lot they saying, but it's a lot they not saying too. Okay, we'll get into that a little bit later on in the show. Esquire magazine has Denzel Washington on the winter 24-25 issue. Essence. Now, this is a magazine that I've officially subscribed to. Sha'Carri Richardson is on the front of the February issue. And National Enquirer, Michelle and Barack Obama on the February 3rd issue. Guidepost has Al Roker on the February-March issue. And in Bazaar, Zoe Saldana is gracing the cover of the February issue. And these, y'all, are the top hoopla resources we are recommending today. All of these artists currently have a Tiny Desk concert, or they will by the end of this month. Number one, we have Corday. The 2024 Crossroads album is available on Hoopla. Leon Thomas just checked out this album. Cannot wait to listen to it in full. The 2024 album is called Mutt. It's available right now on Hoopla. Yasmin Williams, the 2024 album Acadia is available now. And Doechii, 2024 album Alligator Bites Never Heal. If you have not had a chance to check out her Tiny Desk concert, you missing out, baby. Be sure that you check that out. And Tidra Moses, the 2015 album Cognac and Conversation is available on Hoopla. As a reminder, most magazines and books, as well as albums mentioned today, is sourced through Hoopla and Libby. Both are free streaming platforms made possible through our local library. Here at the Critic Chronicles, our goal is to provide quality but juicy content from websites, digital magazines, and tabloids, most of which are sourced through our public library. Research from the National Library of Medicine show that there are an estimated 17,000 public libraries nationwide, totaling 4 million visits each day. Public libraries are civic organizations that are committed to providing invaluable resources beyond books that are free and open to the public. Get your library card to access thousands of resources today. Hey, critics, you know what time it is. It's time for critical news you can use. Now, if you have been following Beyonce on Instagram like I have, you know for a fact that she has just officially announced that she's going on tour. As many of you know, she was supposed to actually have an announcement. I believe it was on January the 14th. But we now know that this Black History Month, we woke up and this morning on IG, the posts basically are saying the exact same thing, exactly what folks have been speculating about her January the 14th announcement, that she's basically going on tour again this year for Cowboy Carter. Last year, she also went on tour for Renaissance. So some people might be a little surprised that she's going on tour maybe 2 years in a row. But I think this is the perfect timing. And I think the perfect kickoff was actually in the fall when she did the halftime performance at the Texans game, I believe it was, for Christmas. I think that was her way of kicking it off and saying, baby, look, I'm going to be coming to y'all with a tour. So get ready. Get your cowboy hats. Get your cowboy boots, get your cowboy gear in general, baby, because we are about to kick off another tour, specifically the Cowboy Carter tour. Now, Mama Tina just posted as well that the Western gear retailers have seen an increase in sales, all because of Beyonce's Cowboy Carter album. It's also Grammy night, and the hope, of course, is that Beyonce is going to be taking home album of the year for her country album Cowboy Carter. I listen, I can't help but wonder if Blue is going to be joining Beyonce on the road again this year, like she did last year for the Renaissance tour. And although the Grammys is tonight, Beyonce has already won an award with Miley Cyrus for Best Country Duo group performance with for the two most wanted songs. So shout out to Beyonce for already being a winner. They've also announced some other additional winners, including Kendrick Lamar, who's won already for Best Rap Song, Best Music Video, as well as Best Rap Performance for Not Like Us. They not like us. They not like us. Yep, they not like us. I'll follow up about those Grammy Awards a little bit later on in the week. I want to move forward to Miss Angel Reese here. Miss Angel Reese, of course, she has a podcast called Unapologetically Angel. Well, recently in her latest podcast episode, she did an interview with her mom. Now, it just so happened to be her mom's birthday, and y'all, she gave her mom one of the best gifts ever. And let's take a listen right now to hear what it was. Shout out to Angel's mom, who was also named Angel Reese, by the way. But yes, Angel Reese basically paid off her mom's mortgage, and that's the episode from January the 30th, excuse me. So shout out to her mom, and also happy birthday. If you don't know, her mom actually was a basketball star as well and went to college on basketball scholarship. That is also one of the reasons why Angel Reese has been inspired to play basketball. It wasn't even just her mom. I think it's her mom, her grandparent. Like she has a grandparent that played. She has a dad who also was very athletic and all of the things. And so, if you get a chance to listen to the entire episode, her and her mom really talk about some of her experiences when she used to have to stand out and help raise money for the team and how Angel really felt about that. And shout out to Angel and Angel because I realized, yes, if her mom is also named Angel as well, congratulations to the Angel Reese who received her mortgage being paid off. Shout out to the Angel Reese who gifted that to her mom. I'm looking forward to what's more to come with Angel Reese as well. So congratulations again, Miss Reese, on getting that amazing gift from your daughter. Now let's go ahead and move forward to something that has been popping this entire time ever since the trailer has dropped for the Real Housewives of Atlanta because baby, season 16 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, the trailer is out. It's giving new peaches, and if I hold that thought of the new peaches in town, not the OG class of housewives that I wanted on the roster, however, the trailer, unpopular opinion, was exciting enough to tune in on March the 9th, if you ask me. All right. Fresh peaches, opulence, and mess is what I gathered from the trailer, baby. However, some might say that it was giving love and hip hop, but we only know what two peaches. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Like, I think we only know like two of the peaches that's on there, like really, really. Well, the 16th season cast includes, I think, four returning housewives. That's Drew Sidora, Portia Williams, Cynthia Bailey, as well as Phaedra Parks. New housewives, including Shamia Morton Mwangi. I'm probably not saying her last name right. I'm so sorry about that, Shamia. A former friend who is now a peach holder. And then also new cast members, Kelly Farrell, Britt Eady, and Angela Oakley, who is married to former NBA star Charles Oakley. Now, this season 16, as we know in real life, when you have your own Sweet 16, look at me comparing it to real life, okay? I think I'm open. Sweet 16 is just like a new journey. So I'm open to the new girls making their way into the franchise. Plus, the only housewife that I really want to return to the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise still hasn't returned. So they not doing what I want them to do anyway, but I'll take what they giving me. Okay. I'm just gonna take what y'all giving me. I'm settling right now. I'm settling, okay? The trailer has a lot of Portia and hardly anything of Phaedra. Not that y'all asked me that, but it's giving me the impression that they brought specifically Phaedra on a little bit late to film, but we're gonna see when the season starts. I thought the same thing at first about Cynthia, but you can see Cynthia at the event that Kenya did that ended up getting her what people are saying kicked off the show. Although I don't think Kenya has officially said it like that, but that is one of the reasons why Kenya Moore is no longer on the show anymore. It was because of that whole photo thing that went down a few months ago, and that was a hell of a journey, right? We still talking about that today, as well as that interview, Kenya, that you did with Tamron Hall, and we all kind of like, okay, so that's what we thought. Anyway, you just seeing it in a different way. Anyway, I don't know. I feel like I saw Kenya on the show more than Phaedra, even though Kenya wasn't even a part of uh the housewives photo, the one that they put out to everybody. That, in my opinion, I did not like that photo. The photo of them on, like, I don't know what that was, but they was, I don't know, but I don't like it. Whatever it was that you have them in the main photo with all of them together, I don't. Personally, for me, that was the weakest part of all of the trailer. The photo, that was the weakest part, was specifically that photo. Going into what the ladies was talking about, Shamia talks about being the underdog, but really being able to stun on all these hoes. Okay, she's riding around in her elevator at her house. She was gifted a Rolls Royce, I believe, in the trailer. We see the designers in the walk-in closet. Shamia, you go, girl. You can twerk, but you ain't got to work, so you ain't worried about it, girl. You ain't worried about it. Britt is seen being gifted with a Ferrari, but doing too much. Britt is also the housewife that Kenya blasted with the photo at her own salon, resulting in the removal of her from the show, but not eliminating her from getting a check. Yep. Kelly is the feisty one of the group, according to herself, and her face gives me Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I don't know why, but her face gives me Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She has like that Hollywood plastic look. I'm not saying that she got surgery, right? I'm not saying any of that, but that's what her look gives. She also resembles, don't be mad at me, y'all. She resembles Tamar a little bit to me, right? In my Look at her. Look at Kelly, the new girl on the show for the Housewives of Atlanta, and tell me she don't give Tamar. She don't give Tamar to y'all? Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping. Just let me know below. Let me know in the comments below. Angela Oakley. Um, she's seen reminding people that who she's married to, y'all. And based off the clip, it's sad to say that they didn't give me much else to go off of except the fact that she's gonna be consistent by letting y'all know, oh, boo, I'm married to the Mr. Oakley. I'm married to. Now I don't know if that's the case, but based off the trailer, that's all they gave me to give to y'all. So that's what I'm giving to y'all. Drew had sort of this brownish red long flowing hairstyle in the trailer, and personally I love the look on her. It also sounds like her and the father of Portia's daughter, they're gonna be working together in some capacity. So that sounds like it's gonna be actually a storyline within itself. And then of course we have the infamous salon scene that's still a part of the storyline, and that's probably why Kenya's also still getting a check, because they're gonna be keeping her stuff in there. Plus, she was on the trailer in another way too. I think she was talking about like twirling on somebody or something like that. Her famous line about twirling. I twirl on them haters. But it don't hit. You don't see that until about maybe 2 minutes into the trailer. Personal lives are interrupted with the challenges, as we see around like that 2:15-ish mark or so. But it's a lot going on this season. They go on a girls trip. It looks like it's another opulent event that they do, and it looks like they're having some fun, but also some foolishness as well, in addition to an argument or two, because you cannot have no girls trip without some sort of mishandling of something, some sort of confusion. We got to have the confusion because we got to have some mess. But overall, y'all, based off the trailer, it sounds to me like um I'm ready to watch it. I would watch it. I'd give it a chance. The show returns, if you want to give it a chance, on Bravo March the 9th. And side note, while Kenya is not shown as a member of the cast, I'm willing to bet she's still gonna give us some mess, and she's gonna be a part of that. I wonder though if she's gonna actually show up at the reunion, right? So since Kenya is still, maybe she's not a part of the cast per se, but she's a part of the storyline. I wonder if she's still gonna show up for the reunion. Yeah, that was just a side note in my mind. I just going off, going off, going off. And I heard another side note. I heard, y'all, that Tia Mowry might be getting back with Corey Hardrick. I don't know if that's true or not, and I didn't even look it up because I want that to be true so bad. I do not know why I want it to be true. I'm not typically that person that's like, go back to what you had before, but I don't know what it is about Tia and Corey and all of the things that's kind of gone on without it being too messy, right? I think it's the little stuff that's come out about why Tia and Corey got a divorce in the first place. I personally don't think it's nothing to not be back together again, right? It didn't sound like no infidelity. It didn't sound like nothing like that. But it doesn't mean that they should get back together. But if you're based off what I see, yes, I'm rooting for them to get back together. Together, we're family, like a giant tree. Speaking of family, let's talk a little bit about Black China, baby, because Black China was like, listen, my daughter is my family. She's not Tristan's family. If you don't know Black China, also known as what is her real name? I'm so sorry, Black China. It's escaping me right now. I'll talk about it a little bit later on here. She's upset that Tristan Thompson is claiming that her daughter is his own. When that's y'all, we know for a fact that that's not the case. Dream's father is Robert Kardashian. Tristan referred to basically Dream as one of his daughters on social media, and it sent the internet ablaze. And apparently, Black China too, because Black China came out and stated Dream has one mother, Angela White, that's her real name, and one father, Robert Kardashian, that's her daddy name. And she commented on the Hollywood Unlocked IG account saying, I usually don't speak up, but I'm done. Stop all this clout chasing involving my daughter. As parents, we have joint custody, and we also have a beautiful, healthy co parenting relationship. I just find it interesting that he has plenty of children to claim, y'all, yet he wants to claim somebody else's child. Only got like five kids, four, five kids, four, five, six, seven, eight. Maybe a hidden one somewhere that Chloe don't know about just yet, and it's gonna come out 6 years from now that he had a baby 7 years ago. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying Tristan is that kind of dude where you just always got to be watching your back because you just never know what kind of secrets he got that's just gonna come from behind the burning bush. Okay. Tristan is touched, y'all. You know what I'm talking about? Like when I say touch, he has all look at his face. He always have like these glazed over eyes. And it just makes me think that he's touched. And he's just not with us sometimes. Sometimes he just looks like he with us. I'm glad Black China did clear it up. Shout out to Black China. Shout out to Dream, the true, the one true Kardashian. I think Dream actually said that one day. She's like, I'm the only one that really carries the Kardashian name. And I'm like, did Dream said that? Dream, no, she know her position in the family. She is the Kardashian. Let them know, Dream. Let's take over now, girl. Take over now. Let the cousins know you're taking over. Anyway, moving right along. Speaking of taking over, y'all, Usher fans get ready because there's a podcast called it's an episode actually. It's called Podcast Usher, The Last Showman, where the singer is basically going to be reflecting on his 30-year career, sharing with fans the raw, unfiltered truth behind the music, including iconic tracks, Confession Part 2, as well as Burn. The episode is set to release on Audible February 6th, just a few days from now. Y'all, let me tell y'all somebody who I know wish that she was talking more about being a housewife than what's going on right now between her and her ex. Jeezy and Jeannie Mai. There's basically police body cam footage of Jeannie Mai going to collect her things from Jeezy's Atlanta home, and unfortunately, she was stopped. According to In Touch, they reported that Jeannie called the police after Jeezy refused to let her into his Georgia home, and they have exclusive body cam footage of the incident where she showed up on December the 9th and could not get in. She basically, according to what I saw, she organized the date with the house manager in advance, it sounded like, but reportedly Jeezy locked Jeannie Mai out of the house and she wasn't able to do like a walkthrough to collect anything. And she was told that her things was already basically packed up and ready for her to take, and it was in the garage. Now they did let her in the garage, but apparently they packed Jeannie's stuff and the boxes were damaged. So some of the boxes was, she said, ripped reportedly, and then there was mouse trapped in the garage, I guess. you know and because of the fact that they had the garage traps or the traps for the mouse, they knew what was going on, but they had already torn through some of her boxes. So her stuff has basically been damaged due to that. Well, back in November, reportedly, Jeannie was given a court order that she could go through the home to collect her things. But then Jeezy filed an emergency motion requesting the court allow Jeannie to pick up her items be modified to restrict her from entering because he did not feel safe around his ex, given the history of attempting to destroy Jeezy's career with misleading information to the public. And he said he was in no way, he didn't know that if she might plant basically some listening devices or cameras in his house. But Jeanie basically showed up at the home before the judge ruled on his request, like basically on Jeezy's request. So the house manager was there to let Jeanie in, and they ended up calling Jeezy's lawyer, in which she shared, I just want you to know that I'm looking through some of the boxes that are damaged with the clothing completely exposed. It's damp in here. I just want you to be aware of that. While the police did take a report of the dispute, they were unable to force Jeezy's team to basically let Jeanie in the house. So Jeanie still ain't went in the house to be able to look around to see if she has anything left. Now, Jeanie's lawyers did take note that the boxes were wet with water and had soaked through the boxes, excuse me, and water had basically soaked through the boxes, damaging personal items, the mouse traps that were set in the garage for mice. Basically, everybody know that, right? In Touch Weekly even says that Jeannie's been trying to collect her things for over a year, and she just wants this to be over, and he will not resolve it. All Jeannie needed to do, it sounds like to me, was just do one more walkthrough through the house just to make sure that whatever the boxes were in the garage that was packed prior to her even getting there, so she don't really know if everything in there or not. She just wanted to walk through to see if all of her things or her items had been collected. But unfortunately, child, y'all gonna have to go back to court to resolve that matter. Hate that for you. I hate that for you, but they tell me that this is a pattern of Jeezy. And unfortunately, Jeannie, I don't know if you thought it was gonna be different with you because you had the ring, because he put a ring on it. Unfortunately, we're seeing now that that is not the case. If you don't know, the two wed back in 2021. They split in September 2023, and then they finalized that divorce in June 2024. And here we are in February 2025, and they still sound like they going through it. Well, good luck, but there's also still more to come because we want to know if Jeannie might ever gonna get in so she can look around the house to get her things. Hmm. We shall see. And let's talk a little bit about some Tiny Desk concerts, y'all. Spiritual Word IG reports that we should be on the lookout for the following artist who's going to be taking the stage for the Tiny Desk concerts this Black History Month, including Corday, Leon Thomas, Marvin Sapp, Braxton Cook, as well as Lotto, call her Big Mama, Barty Strange, Yasmin Williams, Revive Big Band, and those are just to name a few. I remember last month I saw Doechii, who killed it at the Tiny Desk concert, so I cannot wait to see what her career actually continues to bring. And then also Bilal. If you are a Bilal fan, he was initially featured with, I think, The Roots some years ago, but this time he actually graced us with his presence as a solo artist recently. So you can check that out on NPR's Tiny Desk Concert channel. I think it's is it Tiny Desk Music or something like that on YouTube? But you can check it out there. All right. And while we're talking, I might as well continue on, y'all. Let's go black on the inside of the National Enquirer's February the 10th issue, where they are praising, well, I wouldn't say praising. They're kind of they're kind of criticizing actually comedian Trevor Noah, who's going to be hosting the Grammys that is going to be coming on tonight. Well, they're saying that his jokes are stale. I just think he's easy on the eye, and I still think that he's perfect. I mean, the Grammy Awards is not a place, no offense to anybody. This is not the place where you're like, oh my God, I want the hostess with the mostest per se. You want the person who's going to get the job done, but who's also still easy on the eye, who can move through some of the ways that you're supposed to move when you're on live TV. Because baby, hosting something live, honey, that ain't everybody's cup of tea. And I always love to see Trevor Noah because he's very. Did I say he was easy on the eye? Oh, Trevor, thank you for being easy on the eye. The son of Patricia. Oh, getting right into it. Let's talk a little bit about some daytime TV. I want to go back to kind of Jenna and Friends, which I've kind of been talking about because I felt like they've had some great guest co-hosts, some great sister co-hosts, including Sierra, Kiki Palmer. There's also been Eva Longoria has also been there, and Sierra as well. If you don't know, well, apparently, according to page 12 here in the National Enquirer, it's looking like Jenna and Friends is looking to have none other than Scarlett Johansson to kind of fill in for the gig, which I'm not sure if they haven't officially announced anybody yet, but I'm not gonna lie, I think Scarlett's great, but in terms of the person that I would like for it to be, Scarlett was definitely not my choice. My number one choice still right now will probably be Kiki, and then the next person now that I've seen her do it is Sierra actually, because I think Sierra would be. I think the look that her and Jenna have together, I think it's just a more flowy look in general. But they're saying that Scarlett might get the gig, and Scarlett also sounded like she's been eyeing the job herself as well, sharing with Jenna and the whole world that she's been adjusting to it, as well as getting up early in the morning. her brand new life, what she does with her kids now in the morning, how she may not be there for them to go to school, but she's there in the evening, when they come home. But shout out to whoever gets the permanent host gig. But like I told y'all, if it's Keke Palmer and what I know now is Sierra that's going to be hosting, I'm definitely probably going to review the show. And I'm not a show reviewer, but I will review the show. And while we're talking about talk shows, daytime TV to be exact, apparently it's getting real sticky. The View has a brand new set, and I think they've done some things up there in New York when it comes to the financials of making things a little bit more seamless with the studios. Yes, they spent a lot of money, but it's a lot of sharing now, and that includes sharing of dressing rooms, says page 12. And Whoopi Goldberg as well as Joy Behar, they are not happy about sharing their dressing rooms. And while Tamron Hall, shout out to her, she's apparently made jokes about the changes. These veteran sisters, they weren't here for it, says a source. And while The View brings in the big ratings, the act is wearing thin on the network, says a source. And who knows what's going to be happening next. I also noticed that The View has started something called the Weekend View. So they also upload on their YouTube channel things that are going on with the weekends, in terms of like hot topics and things like that. So yeah. Also, side note, Don Lemon has opened up his YouTube channel and his show to now talk more about like trending topics as well. Interesting. A lot of people are shifting. A lot of shifts are going on in society, in the world, in the White House, and all of the things. How? And while we're on the White House, I might as well talk about it. This is not the most exciting for me to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it anyway because it is what it is and it's there, y'all. Let's talk about the Obamas. Now, they're saying that the Obamas, y'all, are having some marital issues here in the National Enquirer. I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe it. But let's talk about the rumor that President Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama are on the verge of breaking up. Well, a close critic told me this at first, and I, again, did not want to believe it. But when I saw it pop up in National Enquirer and, of course, some other tabloid magazines, I said, well, I got to take heed. Side note, I also recently saw that billionaire Bill Gates was regretting divorcing his wife, Melinda. So you better watch out. You better not pout. You never know what's going to happen because the grass ain't always greener on the other side. But this is just a rumor that I hope is not true. And later I'm going to come back with a video saying it was all a lie. However, right now on page 20 of the Enquirer, they're saying that the Obamas are currently doing damage control since the news have leaked that their marriage was in trouble due to Barack's wandering eye and him being distracted by other women, including actress, you may have heard, but maybe you don't believe it. They say Jennifer Aniston. Yep, that's the same one who reportedly had her man stolen while she was married, and her man being Brad Pitt, and apparently the person who stole him was Angelina Jolie. And then Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt just had the longest divorce ever because it took them forever to get, what, in like a 7-year span before they damn got a divorce. That's a long ass time. I know the part of the problem was that vineyard or something that y'all brought together, that wine vineyard or something that y'all brought in another country together. I'm glad y'all settled it. That's all I got to say. I'm tired of hearing about it. Well, we've seen Barack out this past couple of months on the campaign trail, right? But also post 2024 election, chatting it up with the 47th and even joking about Bush. He also has been spending a lot of time in D.C., according to the magazine, away from Michelle. However, it does say that Obama wanted his wife to run for president, which I thought was interesting, and believed that she could have actually defeated the previous winner, but she just refused. People always, though, bring it back to when Michelle admitted that there was a 10-year period in which she didn't like her husband. She couldn't stand his. No, I'm just sorry. She didn't say it like that, but but that she couldn't stand her husband, basically. And if you read her book, Becoming, she shares some of the challenges in the beginning when he was a senator there in Illinois and the toll that took on their family, where she basically played the primary role as a parent with Barack off doing his political thing there in Illinois. She also put her career on hold for him and was also his mentor at one point. But now Michelle is tired of sacrificing for him, they say. And she's spoken with lawyers. Now, this could be an expensive divorce if they did follow through, especially since they have a $70 million empire, according to the reports, and that it's on the line. And that includes their Netflix deal, production company, as well as their multi-million-dollar properties. However, they are planning a quiet strategy, they say. Now, I know this sounds terrible right now, but it's how I feel. First off, we don't know what agreements people have in their marriages, okay? For all we know, they both might have a work wife and a work husband that they are each okay with having, if you know what I mean. if you catch my drift. But I can see these two continuing their life with a unified front. But personally, I would be shocked if they actually divorced. I mean, Hillary didn't even divorce Bill, and he was getting his he, uh, he was entertaining the interns. We'll say it like that. But either way, I want to remind y'all the grass is hardly ever greener on the other side. Check out the following resources, though, from President Obama as well as Michelle Obama on Libby, including her book Becoming and The Light We Carry, along with Obama's A Promised Land, Dreams from My Father, and The Audacity of Hope, all on the free library platform Libby. And I don't know if y'all have heard about this, but Wendy Williams, she's actually on page 10 and was recently granted an opportunity to go see her father. But on page 10, they're talking about the fact that her kin folks, they fighting for Wendy's freedom. I shared on a previous episode that's also linked below that Wendy made some rounds talking about her current situation and her condition, stating that she's in her right mind, baby, but her money is being held hostage and she just sits in her luxury prison place that where she is right now and rots away staring out the window and looking at the four walls. She also says, the reports are saying, though, again, says TMZ, she will be allowed to go see her father. She's going to be flying to Miami for her father's 94th birthday this month. She's also going to be accompanied by private security, and she's going to be staying there for about 2 days, they say, and then back to New York, where she is still confined to an assisted living facility. Now, the part that took me for a loop, though, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, was this GoFundMe thing that was launched. I mean, it looks legit, but I'm still surprised. I mean, Wendy, can Wendy not find somebody who can do pro bono and then let them handle it when she's granted her, like give them their money when she's granted her money back, right? Or access to her money again. And Britney Spears, how was Britney Spears able to do it? Because how was she able to get access to her money to pay for her own lawyer and get out of her guardianship situation? I don't know. I don't know. Rumors are also out there that Britney wants to help Wendy if she can, but I'm not sure if that's actually true because I haven't heard Britney say anything like that. I like to hear it from the horse's mouth. Like I like the person to actually say it. That helps me to be able to truly like lean in to it. Um, yeah, I think I do believe that Wendy is healthy enough to take care of herself. And if you can't admit nothing else, what the Guardian was putting out there saying she was incapacitated, she couldn't talk, she couldn't speak, and she didn't exactly exaggerate like that at the end saying she couldn't talk, but she was saying that she was so incapacitated that she wasn't able to speak out of her right mind. And when you compare it to specifically Bruce Willis, who we know for a fact has the frontal aphasia, similar to what they were saying is wrong with Wendy, it does not look the same, honey. Wendy's gone on the Breakfast Club. She's gone on Don Lemon Show. She's gone on Jason Lee as well. And we've heard her sound very, very clear. So what Wendy is saying, and then also what that Guardian is saying, or what Wendy is speaking out and sounding like, is not lining up with what the Guardian is saying. So when it comes to, is there some sort of an abuse going on with Wendy and the Guardian, I would 1000% say absolutely. TMZ also reportedly interviewed Wendy for a new Tubi documentary, Saving Wendy, and in it, serious questions are raised about why she is still in a guardianship that gives her basically no freedom. I did an extensive video on my thoughts regarding Wendy's guardianship, as well as the interviews that she did on The Breakfast Club and with Don Lemon, and it's also linked below. I am glad to hear, though, that Wendy will be going to see her father for his birthday. And let's go ahead and close this out with Sean Diddy Combs, y'all. The magazine says on page 13 that Diddy is reaching out to the White House in a bid to secure a presidential pardon, which will allow the rapper and producer to avoid facing serious prison time and his growing scandal and legal woes. Now, the 47th was reportedly a regular at Diddy's legendary parties, and also the ones for Sean Diddy Combs. And also, yeah, well, also the ones for some other folks too, but we'll just keep it right here with Diddy. But Diddy also reportedly, he's went to the hospital due to a knee injury recently, in which he needed an MRI. Now, that is one way, in my opinion, to get out of the jail cell. Okay, y'all should have thought about that earlier, right? Okay, let me not talk like that. TMZ reports via NY Post that Diddy was admitted to a New York hospital last week after experiencing pain with his knee, and the mogul was taken to a Brooklyn hospital on Thursday. He is still awaiting trial though on trafficking charges, and again, the magazine is saying that he's trying to get up out of there because that's what he's talking to the White House about. But we'll see, and time will tell. Now, if you missed the previous episodes, no worries. I've linked them below, or you can always browse the channel for the latest show. Thanks again for tuning in to the Critic Chronicles YouTube channel, where you get commentary reviews and tabloid news. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload.